Welcome, everyone. My name is Diane Sparrow, and thanks for joining us today. We're excited to have you guys here. And here's how we're spending our time together. So, we're going to start with a quick intro to Ladies at UX, who we are, what this community is about. Then, we're going to jump into our UX career share outs from the panel that we have here. So, real experiences and real lessons learned. After that, we'll be opening it up for Q&A so you can get your questions and answers directly. And finally, we're going to wrap with a few takeaways and what's coming next. Let's get started. Next. So, Ladies at UX is a global organization with 20 chapters in North America and about 90 plus chapter worldwide. Um, Please check out ladies.ux.com to find a chapter near you. And if you're interested in getting involved in the community by volunteering or leading a new chapter, please reach out to Katrina, to our leader, Katrina. Next. So, quick alignment before we start. So please keep your microphones muted unless you're speaking and use chat to add thoughts so conversations can stay focused and everyone gets heard. We're a community that values respect and inclusion. So no harassment, no put downs, no making anyone feel small. If someone shares something personal, treat it as a confidential and earn trust. Take care of the spiritual or physical and show appreciation for everyone who made this gathering possible. And if something crosses the line, please say something, come to me or another organizer. And we protect each other here. So when we uphold this together, create a space where people can truly connect and grow. And that's the community we're trying to build today. Next. So before we kick things off, a quick intro to the leadership side of Ladies at UX. Katrina Liu that leads Ladies at UX across North America and brings her product design leadership from Microsoft into shaping this community. And she's the reason chapters like ours can thrive. And I'm Zayan. I run the San Francisco chapter and work as a principal product designer. My focus is making sure women in UX have a place to connect, grow, and be seen. And we're not here to talk to you. We're here to make sure today leads to real relationships and real opportunities here. So let's move next. Okay, so we're joined today by four designers with very different paths into UX, working across product and content design at Okta, Microsoft, Amazon, and Verily. Yuk, Audra, and Shi Chu are going to walk us through the decisions, challenges, and shifts that to where they are now. And we're going to keep the conversation focused and then open up QA at the end. So make sure to have those questions ready. So know anything that you want to ask, and then we're going to dig into further. And then let's get straight into it. So our first speaker is Yuk at Yuk. Can you kick us off on how you got into UX?
Yes. Hello everyone. Um, my name is Uk. I was born in China. Earned my college degree here in the United States. Before attending Pratt for my master, I worked for 4 years as a web designer at a California-based cybersecurity company. So while I was studying at Pratt, I also started working as a freelance UI/UX designer. That ex that experience really helped me when after my graduations. So I find myself navigating several contract offers from companies like Comcast, Google, alongside a full-time offer from JP Morgan Chase. Actually, can you go to the next page? Yeah. So I ultimately contracted at both of them for a while before I accept a full-time position at a VMware, where I joined the developer tool and platform team. So less than a year, VMware was acquired by Broadcoms. During that transition, I was promoted and moved to a different product team. As in common with large acquisitions, the company went through a significant reconstruction, and my role was impacted in late 2024. So I took the next few months to prepare for my next move. And when I began my job search again, I was fortunate to have three offers on the table. But Okta truly stand out. It wasn't just about the great work opportunities or the benefits or the immigration support they provided. But what really sets Okta apart was the interview experience itself. So I feel like they have a great EPT team and I can really thrive in that company. And I'm very grateful for that. I am still holding that feeling at this moment. Next. Yeah, so well, my career path might sounds like kind of a straightforward story, but as you can tell, I ran into a very unstable career path. It did all work out in the end, but I'm not here to sell you a formula that you can just copy and paste. Instead, I'd rather offer a retrospective. I want to talk about the factors I believe actual matters when you are job hunting. I'll always be honest about the things I did not do right at first place so that you can hopefully avoid those same mistakes. But before I get into any of that, I just need to address the single most important point to me. Like, there's no tricks, skills, or method would have got me here if I just gave up at some point. All those things, the portfolio, the interview skill, the networking, they only got me a bit closer to the goal. But the only reason I'm still standing here today, and the only reason to this point is patience and resilience, and I hope this will get everyone through this tough job market. Next. Yeah, so now let's just talk about what works for me. I think what really works for me is I'm not really had run into portfolio building or resume review. I actually starting from thinking about what I want to be, especially questions like, do you want to go to B2B field? Do you want to be a B2C designer? What kind of industry you want to land on eventually? And then I also did my research on different UX title, for example, product designer, UX designer, digital product designer, conversation designer. There are all kind of titles at the job market that may sound like a UX designer role, but they actually very different. And this difference also makes the interview process very different. So that's something I would encourage people to think about even before they're building any artifact that help them with the interview. So the second thing that really helps me is I built connections, not transactions when it comes to networks. I'm not saying that you shouldn't just go for a one-time mental session to revise your portfolio or resume. But I think what you also need to do is find a real model that this person shapes what you want to be in the next few years. And then you can build a long-term relationship with this person or several person to updating them with how you grow as a UX designer. Let them know you more than just a person who approach for referral, right? So this kind of connections may really help you and save your life in the future. Next. Yeah, so there are two things that doesn't really work out for me. The first thing is when I was just starting working, I don't care about how the business are. I'm just go to the office, get paid, and don't really think a lot about it. But then if I can tell like Waymair will be acquired by Broadcom, I might be more prepared. So that's one thing that I really think people should should think about before they're taking any offers. The second thing is, I want people to be vocal about their wins. Like, for example, what kind of things you make, what kind of things show on newspaper, your company's website. Keep a record of everything. In this job market, you will really need that to feel a little bit safer. I can share a little bit more toward the end when you have more questions, but that's the end for my self-introduction. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And so next we have Audra.
Hi everyone, my name is Ardra and I am a content designer at Microsoft, specifically the security org. And I work with Katrina. And I think content design is something that's not as spoken about, and it's a pretty small team. So I'd like to encourage people to talk to me, reach out even after this talk, and if you want to understand more about what content design itself is. But can you go to the next slide? Thank you. So my journey started from engineering. I am an engineer undergrad. I studied something called mechatronics. It's very complex. It's about making systems work together, like you would see in a smart refrigerator or even a like an autonomous car like Tesla. And very soon into engineering, I realized that I was doing something that I thought I was supposed to do and not really what creatively fueled me. And I wanted to write. So I started working with some startups in my undergrad, which had a lot of opportunities for people trying out new things. So I worked with a few startups to build content for them. And I realized that there is this space that I did not know about. So it was like a little bit of tech, but it was not tech yet. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just writing random things wherever I could, be it social media, be it for their websites, be it for, I don't know, emails, whatever came my way. I just wanted to write. And from there, after I graduated, I took a while to think about what I should do next. So I dabbled in creative writing. I thought about getting a master's in creative writing. But then COVID happened. And before COVID, just before COVID, I was lucky to join an augmented reality edtech startup. So that's where my content design journey began, I think. And we built a product for the entirety of COVID. It was all from home, and it was a lot of us who didn't know what we were doing. But the experimentation part really helped me figure out what I like about content and how to build a process around it and how to get people to work together and how also to collaborate with designers, engineers, and building a product itself. And that was very exciting for me. And also because I'm passionate about education, and augmented reality is this very new edge technology. So it was fun. And from that experience, I was able to get a bigger job, an actual job actually, into a bigger startup. But I guess now it's a company, it's a public company now. So they build electric vehicles, which was also a new tech space that I stumbled upon, and I really liked working there. But it wasn't in product this time. I was working in communications, which was very different. It was about selling the culture of the company and talking about hiring campaigns and making communications for internal events and all sorts of campaigns that you can think of. It was really extensive. I learned a whole lot of skills in that job, from video editing to making podcasts, writing scripts for different kinds of content, and building a big social media platform on LinkedIn for like over 400K followers. It was a huge platform, and I feel like I learned a lot in those 2 years. And then I decided that I needed to learn about content a little more. Like, what are the different avenues possible? And content is often thought of as just writing in broadly, but there's many different careers you can take. There's content writing, there's copywriting, there's content strategy, there's blogs, there's many different kinds of content creation, which is different, which is for social media. And then there's product, which is content design. So I came to UW, University of Washington in Seattle, to study communication and digital media. So that really exposed me to the different avenues of content. And then that I was able to do a lot of UX research and also learn about marketing itself, which helped me understand that I wanted to be more on the product side. So I will talk about my job search journey. It was chaotic for sure. I'm international, and it's hard. And I was also told by some people that since I'm international, I won't be considered as a native English speaker. But since I grew up speaking English, it is something that I really wanted to do. I did not want to pivot into another, sort of stream, like maybe a different kind of design or marketing. So I would repeat what Vuka was saying. You have to stick to your path. The big things that I want you all to take away from what I'm saying is be authentic and also be self-aware, because those two things fuel each other. And as long as you know what you like and what you're passionate about, it's easier to stick to that path even when the times are very hard. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Next up, we have Yue. Whenever you're ready.
Hi everyone. I'm a product designer at Amazon, and I'm working on AI-powered enterprise experience across three interconnected platforms. I'm glad to be here to share my journey into UX. Katrina, could you go to next place? Yeah, here you go. So I graduated at the end of the 2023. And before I graduated, I got 6 internships and 1 year full-time experience. But at that time, I don't have any full-time offers. And like many new grad designer, I sent out more than 1,000 of applications, and most of them just went to the black hole. And in the late of April, I finally landed three mid-level full-time offers after 30 interviews. And then I relocated to Seattle and started my contract work. During that time, I led design of two products, and after 3 months, I started to consider like how to find full-time opportunity and reach out to different managers at Amazon. And after 14 interviews at the end of 2024, I joined Amazon as a mid-level designer with 6 months full-time experience in the United States. And thinking back to my job hunting journey, I want to be honest about the challenges behind this. Katrina, could you go next one? So the first of all is the visa sponsorship barriers. In fact, only a few companies are willing to consider visa sponsorship for US designers. So I wasn't just competing with other designers at that time. I was competing with the job filter that auto rejects F1 visa students. And secondly, the limited junior US designer opportunities is the biggest challenge. And if you look at the job boards, less than 10 of the less than 10% of openings are truly on the entry-level roles. The majority of the postings are for mid-level or senior designers. So even if you are talented, but you only have less than 2 years full-time experience, there are not enough seats for you. And the third challenge for me was balancing my energy and time during the transition period, because I was applying these job applications, preparing for interviews, and fixing my portfolios, do all things together all at once while dealing with this consistent rejection. So, and go through these challenges, I also summarize some top tips that can really make a difference for me. Katrina, could you go next? And so first of all, I think the biggest tip is know yourself and know your strengths. After a lot of rejections, I realized the key isn't being good at everything, it's knowing what makes you different. And for example, I figured out my strengths were visual crafts and my B2B work experience. So I refreshed my portfolio to highlight those strengths and started to applying some roles are more matched my backgrounds. And after that, the number of interviews I got went up a lot. And secondly, build your network as your second portfolio. Throughout the process, I reach out to different managers on LinkedIn and join US communities to find a mentor or seeking recommendations. And I even collected interview feedback by asking the interview team through email or Slack message. And the interview opportunities came away more from these informal conversations or just the cold email more than the online applications from job boards. And the last one, I would say stay resilient, because rejections are part of the process, but I wasn't always be calm about that. I did go through a period of feeling lost, and but once I stopped treating these rejections as no and started seeing them as a different data points, things changed. So what I did was I built a Notion workspace to track my applications and each interviews and listed out my overall the reflections and what to improve for the next round interview. And I do this from January to the late April 2024 and keep iterating myself and tweaking my interview skills and portfolio case at least 10 to 15 times within 4 months. And after that, that's kind of a consistent effort. I finally got my offer. And that's the overall, the practical tips that I can share it with you guys. And happy to answer more specific and other questions throughout the Q&A part. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's cool. It's amazing that you have like 6 internships. That's really cool. Very impressive. So next up we have Shikyu. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and come off mute.
Hey, hello everyone. First of all, really excited to be here to share my experience with you guys. And my name is Shiqi. Currently, I'm working at Verily. Verily is an alphabet company, which formerly known as Google Life Science. And I'm currently working across three different products and try to leverage the AI and machine learning to help the researchers to search and analyze data more effectively. So maybe turn to the next page. Yeah, in talking about like my UX journey, I started before the UX. I'm actually with a French teacher in Australia, and the first time I learned about the UX is it was like the 2021 in May, like after I going to the US. And my job hunting started at the 2022 September. The first time I'm just trying to find my first internship in the US, but with no experience, especially with no experience of the behavioral question, I failed over 20 internship, including the SAP, McKinsey, BCG. And after adjusting my approach, I started to get the offer in the next year, 2023. So the firstly, I landed the intern offer from the Workday, but it was withdrawn since I needed the sponsorship. And later, I got intern job offer from the GoDaddy, but I didn't get the return offer since there's no headcount. And in the second half of the 2023, it's certainly like the coldest job market I've experienced. I might apply thousands of the applications, but with only few than 5 interviews. But luckily, I still got like the 2 full-time offers. Even most of the interview is just requesting you to get some unpaid design challenges. And I choose one of the small company called Amisac. It's a design agency. But at the same time, I still didn't stop to try to seeking more or better opportunities. At this time, I feel like over 10 interviews at some larger company like Amazon, Microsoft, Uber, and Upwork, some of the names. At that time, at that time, all the interview I got is just for mid-level, just exactly like Uwe said. It's certainly less interview about like the junior level, but the problem about the mid-level interview is the most of the feedback I got is just to say, okay, your intern case study don't have enough complexity and scope. But after all of this, I got the offer from the Verily. I got the offer from Verily at the beginning of the 2025. Can you go next? Yes. So looking back about my job hunting journey of the UX, I think I have 3 takeaway. First of all, it's customize your package. So it actually it should not just include your resume, your case study, and your even your answer of the behavioral question. So in my opinion, in current marketplace, being a generalist who knows a bit of everything isn't necessarily better than a T-shaped designer who knows the depths in one area. So in that case, you certainly should know the company you're interviewing with very deeply and try to find the overlap between you and that company. So that means if you are just interviewing with a company who who are doing like the B2C growth, and you certainly should not show any enterprise case study. And also, like if you are just interviewing with some faster paced company, maybe try to highlight your clear prioritization and your speedy, high quality deliverables in your behavioral question. That's more about tailor everything to be the best match person, not to be like the superhero in everything. And the second advice I can give is try to gather widely the input, aka feedback, no matter it's for your case study, behavioral question, or your resume. I often seek the feedback from ADP list or try to connect some senior designer, even some peer designers. But don't swallow them, them all, because it's certainly impossible to take them all. And some of the feedback you got may be a little bit contradictory. So you should think carefully about which one makes sense best for you. And the last advice I'm going to give you is try to give you all. Try to do everything you can, but certainly with less emotions. That means maybe focus on the actions that can truly move you forward, like practice your whiteboard skills or try to refine your portfolio again, rather instead of just get stuck of the emotions, because we all know the interviewing is always very stressful. And most of the people I know certainly experience setbacks and twists a lot during the whole journey. But after you've been through everything, I feel like what you can get is not only like a job offer, you can also get the stronger and more confident version of yourself. So yeah, good luck, everyone.